And we're live. What's up, everybody?
Well, I just want to start off tonight by saying if I wanted to work third shift, sign up for a factory job over there at the Jeep plant.
Rick, I can let you know that I have heard that there could be opportunities for you at the truck stop on third shift if needed.
$5 is $5. All right, well, welcome to Beyond the RC Grid. I have to introduce myself. I'm Eric Kroll. I guess I'm a host, technically, and I have a couple co-hosts with me tonight and a fourth who is still on the mend. We have a guy on the mend, but first, Paul Rulin, Rick Biggins, anything you want to say to your fans?
Thanks for the support.
Rick, not all at once.
As I alluded to earlier, I work a regular job during the day. Having to do a third shift job in addition to that is stressful.
Here, Rick.
Hang on.
I got you something for your crying.
I'm playing the world's smallest violins for your RGB
I
racing.
hear it.
My dedication to the art of RC racing is what I'm running on, or in this late hour.
Well, listen, just drink a cup of Joe like the rest of America and suck it up.
We'll have you out here by 10 p.m. RGB.
Where's Rick? This is everybody at work tomorrow. Where's Rick? He's always here. All right. Well, I'm a little disappointed. I had to change the name of the show to Landing the RC Car because Rick actually raced well this weekend. There were no flights, and all four wheels stayed on the ground all weekend that I know of. So we're going to have to find something else to pick on Rick about.
I'm working with a flimsy short course late model body that will be rectified in the next coming days with a shark body order. My new nickname will be Gravity because I'll be sticking to the earth, running the laps.
Who's painting the shark body?
Play a professional.
In the past, my paint jobs on all my cars have drawn attention and praise, so I'll stick with the top that I'm currently using.
I don't recommend that.
I have to go on record at the start of the show telling you that, Rick, I feel as though you had a very good race this past weekend, and you did very well. And I feel as though you got a great return on your investment from your trip to Texas and the Stevie Wonder Performance Driving School. It was well worth the money that you paid to go there.
In the year 2025.
In the year 2020. That's a Conan O'Brien joke, if anybody picked up on that. In the year 2000. All right, sorry, Rick, go ahead.
All forms of I would say, and discrimination, which Paul is demonstrating not only today, but last Sunday, are frowned.
Listen, I thought it was very big of Paul. What just happened, what Paul just did, those words of affirmation are just amazing. I mean, I don't know what you're talking about, Rick. All I heard were positives from Paul's mouth, and you could probably take some note from Paul.
As a host, I understand that you strive to be independent and non-partial in your hosting abilities, but I think our audience in general will probably not only comment in mass, but may also form some type of protest in relation to Paul's hurtful comments.
Well, I don't know about that. It's okay, though. There's always that one sensitive guy in the group, and RGB just seems to be that one guy. So I want to hear more about your trip to Texas, RGB. We have a huge slate on the agenda tonight, and we're going to try and stay on track. We won't, because our show's like our racing. It's all over the place. Except for Paul. Paul apparently is like a professional all of a sudden. He wins everything. What was the Texas trip? Who went with you? How much money did it cost? Because you and your ledgers, I'm just kidding. You don't have to tell us how much. We know it was expensive. But tell us about your trip real quick. Any good food? Good shows?
We had a family vacation, which we do every summer. This year we went to San Antonio to celebrate the heritage of the Alamo.
Who's that? Who's the Alamo?
It is a fort where a couple of American heroes did not come out alive.
Were you
Do
able to
you-
check out the basement of the Alamo?
That is a old overplayed joke.
If you know, you know.
My gosh. I just want to know, do you know more about the Alamo than St. Alban?
That might be a push. It was an interesting time. We did learn a lot. I planned vacation to come back Saturday so I could make the race on Sunday. So that worked out.
For future reference, for people that are thinking about taking family vacations, how did that trip affect your driving on Sunday?
Well, as the videos or any YouTube channels will show, and as they,
Nightcrawler racing.
for several weeks, I'm a clean racer. That's just a general fact. I keep to myself, and I should be in the top one or two for every heat, unless I'm nudged or pushed forward from behind by one of the Rulin brothers.
Rick, I didn't even race with you this weekend,
I said brothers.
except for the main.
When you have someone else to do your dirty work to try to keep your reputation clean, that doesn't make you free of any type of guilt. I'd also like to comment that Rulin Brothers Racing waged psychological warfare when they bring in their patriot of the family.
You're
They
talking
show-
patriarch. Patriarch is the word. Not he is a patriot, but he is
Patriot's
also
a great movie.
Yeah, he's a patriot. That's what I was saying. We bring in for the mains when they start to feel threat. All of a sudden, this other gentleman shows up, starts telling off-color dirty jokes. They try to rattle the competition.
So trash talk affects you, Rick, is what you're saying.
Well, I'm saying I am a clean living, American loving, apple pie eating person, and I don't need to hear these off-color jokes when I'm trying to concentrate on our race.
Well, I didn't hear any of those off-color jokes. Can you repeat one for me so I can decide if it's uncalled for or not? I'm listening.
What I'm saying is I don't need to hear references to and their practices in the examining room with women.
This is a family show, Rick. I don't know what he's talking about. I was not even over there, so
I think he's making things up. I didn't hear anything either.
yeah.
So
Don't. I mean, I can have Paul Senior on the show. He can come over, and we can get him on here. Maybe we'll do a live interview at the next race, which is Sunday, by the way, Father's Day, and he has decided to join his son at the RC car track, hoping for another sprint car feature win or main win, if you will.
That's a good way to spend Father's Day. I would love to have that opportunity. So,
well, Rick, I can't make it Sunday. I've got family in town from all over the country. But Rick, I'm still available to be your daddy on Sunday, just like I am on the track. Anyways, that'll get edited.
Any possibility that the mobile pit unit could be delivered to the track for a rental for some
money talks.
Excellent.
Rick has all the money.
I got
I
my
think he's spending on those glasses.
I got canopy delivered yesterday. So although Sunday looks like it's going to be cloudy, so we may not need it, but I'll bring it either. But,
You should always bring it.
Yeah, I'll bring it.
Better to be prepared than unprepared.
You always want to have protection.
So anyways, let me talk real quick about what I thought we could talk about today. I thought we could talk about rules a little bit because we had some rules stuff happen this weekend. Or batteries. There's an E in there. And I thought we could talk about adjustments on the cars because I had some help from somebody and I made some adjustments, and it's given me some really good ideas of the direction I'm going to go. And it's going to put me up there. My car's going to be, it's going to be legit. I know what's up. I know what those fast guys are doing. And I think I'm close to, on setup at least, I think I'm close to what I need to do to get in the direction of chasing a few of them guys down and at least not being 4 laps down. Maybe I'll be 2 laps down after these adjustments. We'll see. But I thought those 3 things we could talk about. I don't know what you guys want to add to that. If there was anything from Sunday that you guys wanted to talk about, anything you can think of?
I think everybody off the track just agreed this was a great day all the way around. Lots of good races going on. I didn't see any heat that had very many entanglements, except for a couple of the under 10-year-old drivers out there, doing their best, and maybe just getting a little nervous and bumping and grinding a lot of us. But yeah, we're all just trying to help everybody get better.
Yeah, it was a good day. What about you, Paul?
No, it was good. We could talk about something that we had never done at TARCAR before the race on Sunday.
Oh, yeah, we got, well, kind of, we got teched.
Yes, a smaller variation of tech for both the box stock classes at the track, just to make sure that everything was box stock.
I believe I saw a car this weekend that wasn't, and I'm just going to throw it out there, and I could be wrong.
You did. I mean, there was
be
a fan in one of the cars that is not box stock, so I think that fan was removed from the car. So I guess it's probably good practice to maybe start doing that so you can check motors and batteries and make sure they don't have any aftermarket parts on the car, because I think we all like the box stock class due to the fact that all the cars are pretty close on the track. No one really seems to pull away from the other cars, so I think it makes for some really good racing.
It is by far the closest racing in general of the day, I think. And I talked about that a little bit with the Stevens guys, the father and son. The only way you're pulling away is if everybody gets tangled up and a guy breaks loose. Otherwise, everybody stays pretty close. I mean, for laps after lap after lap, you got to really struggle to drive to not keep up with those other cars.
I think if everybody's running straight box stock, we all have suspicion. A couple of cars that aren't. The only time that you're going to significantly make any time up or pull away from somebody is your ability to corner. If you're making up time on straightaways in a significant manner, then that would raise suspicions as far as I'm concerned.
Well, I saw a car this weekend that, again, I don't know if they juiced up the battery or what, but there's a significant difference on the straightaways where you see it, in my opinion. So having said that, that car, I don't think won anything. Is that right?
Yes.
So I don't know what was going on with that. I'm just curious. So anybody listening that doesn't know our backgrounds, we're all pretty new to RC racing, and I am more curious than anything if it's the way they charge a battery or if it's in their controller settings. What is the rule on Losi sprint cars? They can change their controllers also? Is that right?
No, not the sprint cars. Only the slash modifieds, they allow you to change your radio. They do not in the box stock sprints.
Interesting. I did not know that. I do not have a sprint car this year. The Nightcrawler racing budget has been spent for the year, so there won't be a sprint.
Budget?
I don't. It's where you lie to your wife about all the cars you buy. Is that?
That's what you call a budget. Okay.
Yes. Maybe next year I'll get a sprint car. They are cool. I mean, they're really cool, but we'll see. Batteries, I allegedly was illegal. If I'd have known that, I would have made it really illegal so I could win, but I was running a really old, what was it, a 7.6 volt, 7 point.
It was actually technically still legal.
Was
It
it?
says the rules call for any 2S non-HV battery. And that was a 2S battery. I don't know. I guess we need to get a determination as to what makes it an HV battery. So we'll talk to Steve on that. Maybe get the rules a little more in black and white dated, because the Traxxas / Modified started running last year. So I believe his post was from June or July of last year with all the rules for that new division. So
Well,
maybe we
it
can just get a
was,
little clarification.
I had a LiPo battery, but I think my amp hours were too high or something. I can't remember what the guy said to me. Let me look something up. Did they say 6,000 or 5,500 was the highest?
Oh, they did not give a rating for that. It just says any non-HV battery.
Yeah, there's
Well,
not.
that's why I'm confused, because who teched us?
The tech person may not have known the rules. They may have been going off of rules for another class out there, which is the old Mud Boss class. Probably, yeah. So that's why I said we could just get some clarification and maybe put it up on the TARCAR Facebook page for everybody to see. So it's in black and white and everybody understands it. There's no confusion.
Let's talk to Steve. I will help do that with you. I mean, I think Steve is so swamped with the track.
Yeah, it would be easy to do.
Maybe him or Casey we could help him out. We'll figure out what they want to post for rules, and then we'll just put it up somewhere, and they can pin it on the TARCAR page. We could pin it on our pages. I can put it on the podcast, whatever. We'll figure it out. But yeah, so anyways, I ran my battery after I got teched anyways. I didn't have anything else. So we'll see about all that. What else? What else happened Sunday? Anything?
RGB bumped from the B main to the A main.
I thought I was sleeping. I didn't know
not sleeping. Yes, it did happen. He put on an absolute clinic, I believe. Did you start that in 4th place? Was that your starting position?
5th, and the way that I made the A main was by not running fast, but by staying out of all the messes. I resisted the urge to get on it. I just ran clean lines, and by halfway through that B main, I was holding my own, but there was a lot of crashing going on, and I managed to stay clear and got the last 5 laps, sticking in 3rd spot. I got tangled up by someone else and came out of it cleaner than the other person, and took 2nd and held that 2nd till the end by running high and away from everybody.
Well, Rick, don't be so humble. You started 3rd, finished 2nd, like you said, but you were only 2 seconds away from a victory. You almost accidentally won a race.
I was chasing him down. But like I said, those last 3 laps, I was not interested in taking 1st place. I was interested in making the A main.
Rick, you had a 12 and a 13-second lap, and then you had a boatload. I'm talking like a Chinese, what are those boats? A Chinese container boatload of 8-second laps. Look at all those.
Yeah. Like I said, I was just concentrating on keeping it clean. I had Paul yelling out periodically where I was at. I don't know if it was his disbelief or him trying to keep me out of the A main.
They're trying to help you, just let you know, hey, you only have to pass 2 more people. You only have to pass 1 more, and you're bumping to the main.
Well, it was impressive. Jerry Steele won that, and you took second, and you guys bumped up. And this is an example for people listening. Let me unshare my screen. That race is an example of what's so awesome about RC racing, because it keeps so many people in the game. You're competing, and then like a blind squirrel, Rick found a nut and accidentally bumped up into the A main. I forgot I wanted to get him a participation trophy for getting in the A main, and it's not in Nightcrawler's budget this year. So we're just going to have to do like an attaboy.
I have something for Rick.
I ran A mains all day long. I couldn't get enough of the A mains, so that's where I was at. I felt comfortable in both of my classes running the A mains. On the A main for the track sit, I got myself into the wall right away. Just starting to fatigue out on my driving, so I had to fight back. Just to my goal was to not even. I started out 8th because that's where I qualified, and I wanted to gain a few more places, but I only gained 1 place for the A main.
No, I mean, you raced. Well, this is wrong right here. I don't understand this.
Yeah, those aren't correct.
So they had some issues with that system this weekend, if you were listening at all. Yeah, why are they so off? Did they say anything about that? I wanted to look at your laps, but look at that. It's
Yeah, those aren't correct.
I guess I'll just stop sharing that screen. There's nothing we can look at if those are wrong. But yeah, no, it's exciting. I mean, you really raced good. Even the late model, the car that you've driven the paint off of, I think it's from when you re-entered the atmosphere at the last race. You had a good rate. You had a good week or a good day in that car as well.
Yeah, that late model, I enjoy that class. And like I said, for our next race coming up on what is it, the 29th or the 27th of June, I should have my shark body, and I anticipate significant changes in how go up for those races.
Talk to me about real quick what shark body you bought.
It's called the Wicked, and it's the new production for this year. From what I read, it's a little bit longer and it's asymmetric, so it's meant for just running oval. So I would think that's with the skills that I'm developing running this flimsy body. Once I get something proper, I think I might have a chance to make some gains in that wide open class.
It may run so good, it may bring out your inequities of your skills, because the car will handle so well, it won't absorb. It won't absorb. You won't be as good.
Well, what I've shown is I can handle cars in the dirt, I can handle cars in the air, and anywhere in between. So I don't have any immediate worries about once I get that new setup.
Well, I'm looking for it online right now. I know what shark bodies are. I'm having trouble finding the Wicked.
Oh no, it's the Twister. I'm sorry.
Well, okay.
Yeah,
I heard that about you and Twister.
It's the Twister body. I've been to say I'm going to drive it Wicked, so maybe that's
okay.
No, it's the first body when you pull up short course late model.
Yeah, I'm not on the Facebook page. That's the problem. Their site is a little bit based off the Facebook page, and I'm just doing
it. That's just a guy that races cars that does that all on his own. I mailed him and had a conversation with him, and he's just a solo dude going to races, making these cars when he's not doing something else. So.
Correct. You are funding his racing. I buy my bodies from Bulldog Bodies, which I like. I do have one McAllister body that I'm probably going to retire because it doesn't set well on my street stock, as you guys saw. I look like I was a 1980s kid driving a 1970s car.
Here's yeah, you had a rake that might have been a little extreme.
Well, you saw how I improved. We don't have all night to talk about it, but I did make huge gains with the help of Wes on that car to where I got it drivable, and I didn't finish last. So that's a win.
That is. First time out with a car, just keeping it on the course and keeping the laps improved and improving is is the goal for anybody that starts any race.
And I will say it's like night and day difference between the Traxxas and an X-Ray / street stock in handling the response of it. I can see where I park the Traxxas someday and all I run is my other modified in this street stock. It may be a sprint. I really think the sprints are cool. So we'll see how all that goes. But Paul, let me quickly see what you did. I know in one race what you did. Let's see. Box stock sprint, second race of the A mains. Paul, Donnie, Jerry, Tom, and Dave. There's 5 of you, which I think is a really good turnout for such a new class. So you started number 1 and you finished number 1. So let me pull this up real quick so people can see. Here's the results. Paul, you finished first. Donnie second. Tom third. Jerry, and then Dave. So really, I mean, look at that. Only Tom and Jerry swapped. Tom and Jerry, you catch that?
I did.
Only Tom and Jerry swap spot.
Yeah,
So,
those cars seem to be very competitive and they seem to be very equally matched. So, about the only way you're going to get out on somebody is if there's a wreck and you're not caught up in it and you can just kind of stretch out the lead a little bit. Are we all, I believe we were all possibly on the same lap there too. So,
Jerry and David had 29.
okay.
So they were down a lap, but
Is this the main?
yes, yeah. This is the A
Okay.
main.
I
They were
think they
down.
might I don't know if they got involved in a little wreck or
Yeah,
what.
right.
For some reason I think there was a small wreck.
Well, according to their times, there wasn't.
Okay.
So they got a little mixed up, and Paul that allowed Paul to pull almost a full half lap on everybody because his lines were consistent. But hey, I remember watching that, and yeah, then just the consistent corners, he eventually put everybody down.
Well, he was 3 seconds ahead of Donnie, 4 seconds ahead of Tom, 5 seconds, but he was a lap down. So yeah, they ended his lap. So I mean, it was close. It wasn't too bad, but yeah, everybody was clean. I mean, look at that chart. That's crazy. I mean, you had right in the beginning of the race is when they swapped places, and then everybody held their position.
I think Donnie and Tom had quite a battle going for the second place position for pretty much the whole race.
Yeah, they were a second apart. Let's see here. 8.4 and 8.5. I'm just looking at their times real quick at the end. Yeah, Tom was catching them there at the end. Tom had 91% consistency, 93 from Donnie. So, yeah, wow, what a race.
And Donnie had just picked that car up. I believe he got that car on maybe Wednesday that week. So he ran his first laps Saturday. We practiced for a little bit Saturday afternoon. So
Okay.
I thought he did very well for just getting that car.
Yeah. I will go over the other races on my own and I will edit that in here so people can see how they did. They look at them anyways, but I'll throw them in here anyways. So what we'll do going forward is try to eliminate, I know Rick missed the beginning of Matlock the last couple episodes. So maybe, well, tonight he's going to miss the whole show because we started so late. But maybe going forward, this will help Rick in his. I mean, I think Rick eats lunch at like, 3 o'clock, right?
I think
Or that's dinner. I'm sorry. You eat dinner at 3 o'clock, right, Rick?
I think with each of us taking on another class, we're only missing out now on what is it, the sprints, whatever class that is, the very last class,
Yeah, mod sprint.
mod sprints, and the what is that, the late models.
Yes.
I think
Rick,
otherwise,
Rick,
I think
we don't have you on the show to be logical. Stop that nonsense right now. This
I'm just
is
saying. I think that we're doing even though accidentally we each picked a different class to get into, it gives us a little something to talk about that includes more of our fellow racers out there at TARCAR versus us just talking about the track.
yeah. Well, we're going to keep evolving as we do this. I will try to edit results in here somewhere to keep that part out of our meeting here. We'll keep doing the interviews, Paul. I think YouTube I'm going to have to blur that out. I think that's considered an advertisement. I'm sitting here covering up you'll never guess what this is, that orange drink, but
Sponsorship announcement. Race driver. They picked me up for the box stock sprint.
What are we going to do about that? Hey, Rick, in the chat over here, we've got a viewer that's asking why your hands are not up where we can see them.
If you're worried about what my hands are doing, I'll tell you right now, they're not soaking in palm olive. They're working man hands full of calluses, hard-earned sweat, earning money for a living. So maybe don't worry.
Well, we just lost a subscriber on the Nightcrawler Studios channel. Gosh darn it. Anyways, maybe I could pay some people to be subscribers like they're paying people to be protesters. Rick, I've never seen you laugh so hard.
Ridiculous.
All right. Well, listen, hey, real quick before we continue on, because I want to talk about a couple adjustments. I mean, we won't get too technical, but I just want you guys to continue to pray for Butch. This MCL thing really seems to have him down. And if he can mend that, maybe we'll see him and a couple of his children out there, and we can get that Traxxas class up to like 15.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Or we could add his 2 kids to a couple of other younger racers. We could have a novice class.
Yes.
Where they could all run together and learn.
And we would still, they would still count towards the entries of that class of the Traxxas modifieds, but just put them in a novice. I think if they would run that, maybe Steve would let an adult or 2 run it for free just to give them somebody to run with. I don't know if he'd do that or not, but I could throw a car down for a heat. You could throw a car down for a heat. You know what I mean? We could mix some people in there so that they would have competition and they could make laps. What else? Adjustments. I'm going to talk about adjustments real quick. So my camber on my street stock was way off this weekend. So I made some adjustments on my camber. It seemed to help a little bit. I was having a lot of trouble. The car just was the rear end was coming out from underneath itself. And when Wes actually helped me with it, but I pulled up Traxxas's website to just show some camber, and really I messed with the rear camber. For oval, they say you want the camber like on the right side, leaning in on the top end, which I think is negative. Is that right? And then the other way would be positive. I could be wrong on that. But I think that's one of the things I'm going to keep tweaking, because I think with oval, if I could run that camber on the right side a little more negative, I might be able to get a little more speed out of it, but we'll see, because I'm right on the threshold, because I still spun out in the mains a few times. So I don't know. I have to tweak that. I don't know if my car's driving into the tubes or if my rear end's coming out from underneath me because of the camber. So I'm going to have to figure that out. But I'm going to do some research. I'm going to document my camber. I've got a gauge, so I will document it. And on our next show, I can give updates of what I did and what direction I went. And that's sort of the direction I want to talk about when we get together on this show, because I have not put a lot of tech time into like my off-road stuff. I've got really fast, smart guys around me, and they've helped me a lot, and I have not dedicated myself to it. So I'm going to try and dedicate myself to this a little bit to learn these cars, and then we can talk about it on the show. So if, Paul, you do any of this with your cars, maybe you could document a little bit of it so we could talk about the changes and what the response was and what the conditions of the track were, and just see what we can do with them. And then what we'll do is we will make sure that RGB has poor video connection while we're talking about those upgrades that we're making, so that he can't take any notes.
I like it.
I've had my short course late model worked on, uh, and I appreciate it by Jerome and Casey came out of his tower uh, last week, and yeah, he gave me a lot of good advice, and he made several changes. And when those guys take over the radio, they're running qualifying times, and then they give that radio back to me, and I have a little more time on the lap than they do. So the changes they're making to the car is definitely improving it. I just got to get my skill set up on that open classification.
Have they told you what they're doing to it?
Oh, and that's the great thing. They're walking me through exactly what they're doing, and it's making sense. It makes sense to me because I don't think about any stuff like that. But once they tell me what they're doing and why they're doing it, I'm like, oh, that that should result in a fast time or coming out of the corners a little bit better. And I watch them drive, this car that I put together. I know it's fast enough. It's just right now it's the driver that's holding it back.
So when I'm asking you this, because I've got to learn these cars too, are you gonna keep leaning on them, or do you want to document it so we can talk about it?
Yeah, I'd say, well, there's going to be, I don't need to keep repeating myself, but once this new body comes up, I think that's gonna have a whole new set of changes to address the upscale body, and when that's happening, I'll document what they're doing, so it can be for anybody that's in the class or watching or wants to gain a little bit of knowledge.
Yeah, the reason I'm talking about it and talking about documenting is because, like Paul knows, Paul's kind of like me. He writes everything down at work, and I'm going to try to just have a base for a setup. So when I am just horrible for some reason, or I went the wrong way on a move, on a setup, I want to at least be able to go to my notes and go back to where my base setup was and start over if I have to. So I'd be interested to hear how other people do that stuff, like Jerome and some of the fast guys, or if they've just been doing it so long they know. Obviously, they're going to know a lot without keeping notes, but that's a good example. The body you're talking about could add a whole new situation to your setup. I would be interested to see what you do with that, Rick. That way we can talk about it and see what you think as far as monitoring your progress and your changes on your car, because that's what we're going to try and do here. We won't tech people to death, but we definitely have to talk about it. And since it's so important to us to make changes and make good ones, we might as well talk about them, is my thought process. So having said all that, Paul, you didn't make a lot of changes, did you, this weekend? No.
What about the wing, Paul? Talk about any changes you might have made on the wing on the sprint car. I've heard some guys talking about what they're doing with that wing.
I have made no adjustments. It is exactly how it came out of the box.
All right. Well, that's I would say that's unique to you, and it's obviously paying off. I've heard a lot of guys talking about wanting to move it forward um, for oval track.
Yeah, I
But
think there's maybe 3 little spots you could make an adjustment to it. I actually talked to Tom, and I'd like to talk to a couple of the other guys. I feel like it would be really interesting to have one race where we all run without the wings. You can take the front wing and the top wing off the cars and run them. So you get a little less downforce because you don't have the wings on there.
So you're saying you want to go topless?
Wingless, if you will.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I fell back in that gutter. My bad.
It was
My
a
bad.
long crawl out of there.
Yeah,
Long crawl out of there.
that's right. Those 2 words have been said before. Long crawl.
Moving on.
All right. Gutter moment over. So what else? Anything? I put a video up of Paul's podium. I want to do that. Like I said earlier, I want to do that every race. If people will cooperate, we'll do podium interviews, and then we'll throw a short, I think it was a 10-minute video of the interviews that I threw out there tonight. Be a little content and a little promotional stuff for TARC. Did that go well, Paul? Did you think that people were receptive of that?
I think the majority of the people were receptive. I think there were maybe 2 people that are just not big being on camera people. But no, everybody seemed to have a good time. Some people had more to say than others. But I thought it was pretty fun, and they didn't know that we were going to do it either. So that was kind of even more fun because we were just getting up there to take pictures. I believe you handed me the camera because you were getting your photo taken. And then I decided to just go Michael Waltrip, pit reporter, and just started running down the podiums and then going over into the pits and talking to everybody. So
Yeah.
I thought it was, I got to check out. I did not get a chance to check the video out yet, but I will check it out right after we get done.
We can do that, and we can also do some pre-race or mid-race stuff with some people.
I liked your pre-race. You did a little short video where you were kind of in the pits asking everybody what kind of car they were running. I thought that was kind of fun. I think that would be good. It kind of breaks the day up a little bit. Gets
Yeah.
people out of their comfort zone.
Yeah, it was real quick. I'll take a little more time. The difficult thing with trying to get all that video is you're trying to race and marshal and work on your
Yes.
car at the same time. So I think even you can do that. You could upload the video and send it to me and I can edit it. So it doesn't have to be,
I need that high-end gimbal rig you got, though.
Yeah, just all you have to do is download that app. So when you're using it, it communicates with your phone. So, Rick, is there anything you need for the upcoming race?
I think I'm pretty well set. I was out at TARCAR for a little while last night, just trying to put in a battery or 2. But I'm still, I might be on the fence about running the short course on Sunday, just because it'll be my last weekend with it, with that setup. But I'll still probably run it. I like being out there and getting some laps in. And I think, like I said, we'll park it up and line it up like we do on Sunday, and try to get as many people involved with what we're doing and how we're trying to promote TARCAR and those guys out there.
Okay. What do you think about racing somewhere else this summer?
That's a possibility. We really don't have much. TARCAR runs every other weekend all the way through September. So that going somewhere else would be interesting, but I think it's just a matter of scheduling. If we're gonna do something like that.
Well, I'll tell you, I want to say I use YouTube a lot for stuff, and I watched a guy who had a YouTube channel, and he was an oval racer down, I can't even remember, in South Carolina or something. And I'll say his name. I remember it because when you hear his name, you'll know why I remember it. It's Trickle, and he had a pretty cool show. He talked about his racing and his setups, and it was interesting. I liked it because, he talked about his setup changes and what worked for him. And he wasn't trying to be an expert on anything, but he just was sharing his hobby. And he raced at a place that was a covered, like a pole building with no sides. And they were racing at night with lights. And it was so cool. And I had said something to Paul at one point about, like, man, I would like to take the camper down there and just take a guy trip and go race at this place. It just looks awesome. And I don't think it was a month later that this track on Facebook announced that it was closing. So I don't think I've seen any of that guy's YouTube videos anymore. So his local track must have closed. I don't know what's going on, but if we could find a track to go to at least once a year, I'd be down for that. I'd really like to do that, because if you start looking, there's a lot of cool tracks out there. So, it could be a one-nighter or a two-nighter, but we could just make it a long guy weekend and do some racing at a really cool track. That's up to you guys. We can talk about that more later, but I may try to go to Finish Line in Indiana this year. That's, I don't even know, an hour away. It's not that far. So I may do that. I'll let you guys know. It just depends on schedule. If one of you guys want to go, just let me know. We'll figure it out.
Is that an oval or an off-road or both?
It's both. And Finish Line is they're in the Glass City series, I think it's called, for off-road. Yeah. And then they are also, I believe they're in our oval series as well.
Tri-State series, yes.
Yes. So even if I can't make it to the Tri-State series race at Finish Line, I'd like to go to an oval race at Finish Line. But yeah, I'll throw the schedule up here. I'll edit this out and make sure everybody can see the schedules. I don't have everything. That's Crater. Finish Lines, you have to go through their Facebook or webpage or whatever to find it. I've got everybody else's schedule up, but Finish Lines. So I'll find it. I'll put it in here, or I'll put a link in the bottom of the video. We can figure that out. Try to go to one of those. But all right. Well, I don't know what else you guys want to talk about. I think that about sums it up on my end. I hate to miss this weekend. I thought about racing off-road on Saturday, but I think it's supposed to rain. So I don't know what I'm going to do.
You got a big family reunion?
Well, it's my aunts and uncles coming in from California and Florida and Connecticut and in Michigan. And so we're doing a lunch, and I'll probably spend a few hours visiting. It'll be close. I'll definitely swing by the track and hopefully catch a few of the races in the mains on the way home. It'll be close on time. So
you can do podium interviews.
I can. Yeah, I can get my stuff and do that.
Yeah, that'd be good. So see, you forgot to ask the question that you always ask at the end. What do you have going on beyond the grid RC?
Let me see. As you know, I'm having just tons of difficulties with my 2 cloud accounts and my Excel spreadsheets. So we might as well start with you, Paul. What do you have going on beyond the RC grid? Anything?
Yes. Today, the side hustle, Paul Rutland Photography, was up in Monroe, Michigan for the Hot Rod Magazine Power Tour. It's a very unique event. 5 days in a row. Starts at Indianapolis Raceway Park, goes over to Joliet Drag Strip, then to Fort Wayne, then to Monroe, and they finish tomorrow at Norwalk at the drag strip.
Norwalk, yep.
Very cool event. Cars from all over the country. There were thousands of cars. I mean, that entire fairgrounds was full. All of the outside lots to the fairgrounds were full of cars. So it was real cool. Went with a couple friends Saturday, hoping the rain goes away in the afternoon. I'm going to be down in Findlay for the cruise, for their June cruise, taking some pictures. And then Sunday, hopefully, we get good weather and trying to be over to TARCAR for the race.
There you go.
That's it for me.
And you worked all week.
Yes.
Rick, RGB, Alien, are you still looking for your pod?
Tell you, I'm going to be at the Cherry Fest parade for anybody that stop in and
Is that this
chit-chat.
weekend?
Yeah, this I think maybe started today.
Oh, cool.
But as everybody has, I'm sure, seen on Marketplace, there's a super sweet, almost barely legal, super fast street stock set up for sale. I'm holding off taking offers until I don't want to cheat anybody out having a chance to acquire this uh, podium proven setup.
Excuse me? What?
It might have been the podium in his dreams
I
or nightmares.
feel like I dozed off and missed something. What did you just say?
Something about podiums. That's all I heard.
Boy,
Podium proven. That's what he said. It was a podium proven.
I am of the opinion, with all the pennies you got rolling around in that couch, that you should keep that car at least for next year. You might want to park one of the ones you're doing this year and run that associated next year. What do you got, a B63 or 62 or something?
6.2 on it. I'm not saying it. If somebody, it's a good start. It's a good car for somebody who wants to get into it. But a recent TARCAR post, there's about 8 of us that also have associated cars that, for sale. So in the street stock category. So, I think I'm by no means unique to that situation. But my plan, if I do sell that this year, I would buy a Sprint car. But if not, I'll just hold on to it and concentrate on the 2 classes that I.
Breaking news.
You heard it here first on the RC Grid. RGB Racing is contemplating breaking into the sprints. We're assuming that's going to be box stock Losi class.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not gonna own more than.
Oh, be quiet.
3.
I don't even want to hear. Zip it. Listen, I noticed your wall is bare, so we can put shelves and you can hang cars up. But the most important question is, where is Clouds? Where'd the sponsorship go?
They flew away. Coke is still here for me.
My nickname around the track last week was Gravity. I don't know if you guys heard that. They call me.
Listen, Neil Armstrong, don't get cocky.
Oh.
Anyways, you can never have enough cars. What do you got for carpet? You got the Euro truck update?
I got the Euro truck.
Give me an update on the Euro truck.
I'm still waiting for Brandon to paint it. I haven't seen him in a couple of weeks. He hasn't been around the track.
Well, he's waiting for his money.
So once that gets painted, that'll be ready to go. But I also got the Joey Logano NASCAR, and I'm going to take that down to Bowling Green next Thursday. I think they're in the road course on Thursday, so I'm gonna break that out of the box for the first time and see how I can fare with that new setup, that new car for me.
That road course at Bowling Green is very tight, and I think it's a small course. I'm trying to remember how big Finish Line has indoor carpet. They have indoors, and I think it's bigger than that, but I don't think it's bigger. I just don't remember how much bigger. That'll be interesting. Yeah, you'll have to let us know how that goes. I'll go if I can make it. I may be reassigned. I may be working in Adrian next week. I don't know. I mean, there may be some breaking news on where I'm working next week. We don't know.
I have breaking indoor carpet news.
Here we go.
This is good news for you, Eric. A mutual acquaintance of ours has entered into the indoor racing scene. Do you have any guesses?
Is it Wayne?
Yes.
Is it Wayne?
Wayne picked
Oh,
up a low-C NASCAR this morning at Hobbytown.
no way.
He is ready to go. He may, I believe, what is there, just Chase Elliott and Joey Logano out right now? I know they just did drop the Kyle Larson car, but I think you had to get that maybe through Hendrick or a couple authorized
I think
people.
it was pre-order.
Okay, pre-order. Yeah, he, I believe, was going to go get the Joey Logano one. He called me this morning. He was going to get the charger and probably a couple batteries for it. So yeah,
Nice.
we'll have quite a motley crew for the
Boy.
NASCAR on the indoor. So that ought to be fun.
Yeah, I don't know. How do you feel, Rick, about having two Logano cars on the same course?
I don't like that at all. But
I already gave him, I gave him his instructions if he saw RGB racing on the track.
and
He will be racing under the Rulin Brothers banner.
yeah, if his affiliation is like you indicated,
He will be a
you
team car.
refer him to 1978 Happy Days episode, The Malachi Crunch, for his training and onboarding, and we'll see how that goes.
Well, listen.
I warn you, RGB, he's probably going to be good. His brother Randy was a hell of an RC car driver. He ran quarter scale sprint cars and was like national champion for a couple of years. So he's got the racing in his blood, and he used to run street stocks at Toledo Speedway. So he said, let's get it on.
Yeah, nice.
It'll be nice to have another, another guy in our group to be on the course with. Like I said, I'm gonna try that road course on Thursday next week. I anticipate it probably being problematic for me because I don't get up high enough to see the whole course in relation to making the turns and whatnot. So I'm anxious just to get some battery time on that car.
I almost fell asleep there, Biggins.
I got my super glue the wheels.
All right.
Eric, you better wrap this up. I'm pretty sure Murder She Wrote's coming on. Biggins needs to watch that.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's been a long show. We're about done, but we'll have to get Wayne on the show.
Oh, that'll be epic.
Yeah, we got to get Wayne on the show. I got to get an interview with Steve and probably like Dave Brock or somebody over there at Black Swamp so we can plug TARCAR and Black Swamp. And I think I slightly know the guy over at Finish Line. I'll contact him and see if we could get him on here to try and grow the audience a little bit. We'll just see if we can reach out to them. But we're doing the best we can. We need to sit down and do some planning and get some order to this show and some consistency. And again, for our audience members that are missing Butch, he's probably from here on out he's just going to be here in spirit, but we're still going to talk about him. So hopefully his MCL heals and he can come out to the track, and we'll see how that goes. But it's the three of us for now, and well, the two of us and an alien.
All right. I'll talk to you guys later.
Wait a minute, Rick. I'm the host. I'll end the show. All right, I'll talk to you later.
I got my morning alarm's going off to make my first shift of the day.
Are you going to say goodbye? We got a post show to do. All right. Man, that was painful.
Oh, man, we're doing good. We're almost an hour and a half. It's perfect. It's right on schedule.
Yep. I like it. Again, I got to get this agenda thing figured out. It's been a shit show. Well, that's cool about Wayne. I said something to Scott. I know it's crazy, but I wish Scott would just buy a damn car, come out and have some fun. I think he'd like it.
Maybe he will. We can wear him down. I think maybe if Wayne comes out, maybe Scott comes and watches. Maybe he might, buy a car. But yeah, it's cool. I think that'll be fun for him. He was looking for something to do, and he used to run with his brother and his dad, I guess, back in the day, indoors on carpet and maybe outdoors too. So
yeah. All right, cool. Well, I can't think of much else. It's going to be a short after show, I guess. I don't know, but we'll get together and go over this list thing.
Yeah, good.
And maybe we can stir up some controversy with Biggins. I mean, he drove way too good this weekend. We can't allow that. So we're going to have to put the bump.
Listen, he paid all that money to go to that Stevie Wonder high performance racing school.
Yep.
Down in San Antonio, Texas. He's earning that, back in the skill that he has picked up.
Yeah. He did.
Special shout out to the Stevie Wonder high performance racing school.
Was it
San Antonio, Texas?
Was it Stevie Wonder or was it the Snake Belly Island that did it? Possibly. No.
Might have jarred. Maybe that crash landing jarred something in his head.
Or
we have been for close to a year now, so you figure you get a little better each time you go out to the track. So
yeah,
it just takes some people longer.
That's all right. So, all right. Well, if I have to get aggressive with them to keep an RGB in line, I will.
There you go.
All right, man. I'm gonna get ready for bed. I got to get up early in the morning and. It's Friday, so I probably have a coworker off. I don't even know. I'll have to look.
I'm pretty sure you do.
So, all right. Well, write your notes down with what you want to add to the show, and we'll go from there.
All right. We'll talk to you.
All right. See you, Paul.
Later.
Bye.